left me.
I cannot help how many times I wait on you.
I had microphone problems this morning. Microphone wasn't working.
That whole saying of waiting on a woman is very unfair.
Sheila, we have to wait on the diesel to the truck to come on, warm up. There we go.
Welcome to Switch It Up.
We're on an adventure today. I don't know where we're going. She just said we needed to leave by 8:30.
And it is 8:37.
Oh, well, that stinks. So we're already 7 minutes late.
We are. Because what were you doing this morning?
Okay, so we need to clue you in before we roll the intro. As I drive out of this RV park. It's an okay RV park. We're at KOA. KOAs are different. I had
A-okay.
That's not even funny. They're actually good parks.
It's backwards. Get it? A-okay.
A-okay. No, it's KO. No, what is it? What?
Put your seatbelt on, so stop dinging. KOA backwards is A-okay.
KOA. Shit, it is.
You're slow this morning. On time, not on time.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
I've completely lost my train of thought, and we haven't even rolled the intro.
Tell them what you're bringing them up
the
to.
reason why I was slow getting out the door is because we had microphone issues. So we have this new microphone that we're using. So if you like it, or if you've noticed in the last 2 or 3 videos, leave a comment and let me know.
But hold up.
But the dang microphone wouldn't turn on.
Okay, so but what was the excuse then for the last time we were in Nashville and we had a video and it was an Uber fail because you had no audio? What happened then?
Well, I didn't plug it in.
So whether you
that wasn't.
Just roll the dang intro.
That was just user error. This wasn't user error. I was trying to turn it on. It wouldn't turn on. Yeah, okay.
This is a professional channel.
Good luck. We're on an adventure. Welcome to Switched Up. And we have this thing.
History.
We roll this thing called an intro. You might like it. You might sing along. Who knows? So
tap your toe.
Let's roll it, and then we'll get back into where we're going.
I love you.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. And they didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
Everyone always wants to take the picture on the rock.
There's a food tour, there's a donut tour, there's a music tour, there's a country stars tour, there's all kinds of things. There's so many things to do in Nashville. You could be here forever and not see it all. This town's growing on me.
People's president. Okay, you guessed it. We're at the Hermitage.
It's the home of Andrew Jackson. So just right out here in Nashville, there's a lot of history out here. Civil War history. So we're gonna go check out.
We all know I'm great with history in this channel. Here's the other thing. Could you, before we even find out what this is, what is a hermitage? Do you know? Do you know what a hermitage is?
Nope.
I don't either. I don't know the definition of a hermitage. Is it a history?
French.
It does sound French. We are the free-born sons of America, the citizens of the only republic now existing in the world, and the only people on earth who possess rights, liberties, and property which they dare to call their own. Yeah,
you said we have about a 7 to 10 minute walk to the mansion. That's some grounds when you have to walk that far on your land to get to your house.
Yeah, so I already got a hike in.
That is not a hike, that's called a walk.
No, this is a hike. So just so you know, it is paved.
Well, and there's a museum there. We didn't get here early enough to see that first. But
don't blame me, you were the one running late.
Rewind.
Rewind?
But we can go back there afterwards, and then we can also tour the grounds. One of the things that I just love that I already saw. I don't know much about Andrew Jackson, so do you?
Not as much as I should know, regrettably.
You know, I'm sure that there's going to be some ugly spots in our history with him, but that's what it is. It's history, right?
It is.
Learn from it.
Still don't know what Hermitage stands for.
We haven't made it very far.
No. Getting that walk in.
What we know today as the Hermitage, what Jackson initially called Rural Retreat, but he later changed the name to the Hermitage, derived from the French word meaning a place of solitude, as Jackson would have been quite isolated out here. Now, as while living here these first 17 years, that General Andrew Jackson would gain international fame and recognition for his victory over the British at the Battle of New Orleans, January 8th, 1815, during the War of 1812. The battle is one of the shortest in history, only 37 minutes. It's a resounding victory for the American troops. Jackson returns to Tennessee a national hero. Many people believed he had saved America, just as Washington had saved America during the Revolution.
At it for a while, and nothing ever gives. Thinking you missed a turn back away.
This is what I didn't understand. That's the dining room. When they said the guests would come off the porch and said, "This is a giant dining room."
It is.
It's a smokehouse.
Oh my goodness.
That's a giant smokehouse. I'm used to kind of like a small little.
Yeah.
So he built a church. There's a church out here. If you look at the grounds. Okay, so I found lots of fun facts on that.
You did?
Yes. I found it interesting that Andrew Jackson was the first and the only to pay off the United States debt.
So let me get this right. You're listening to all that stuff, and that's the thing that you took?
No, there's lots of things I took, but that was interesting. And then he cuts corners on his own house to save money. Like, that's
So
like a...
Let's talk about that for a second,
Yeah.
because your boy Todd used to do construction.
Your boy Todd.
Yeah,
He
your
sure
boy
did.
Todd. So a lot of the stuff that you see was basically faux finishes. With them being faux finishes, Sheila and I actually went to faux finish school back in the day. And we could do marbleizing and elephant ear textures and all kinds of different faux finishes. Remember those days?
Oh yes, we are a jack of many trades.
Yeah, we were faux finish certified professionals, charging like $2 or $3 a foot to do some of those.
Okay, let's
Side.
talk about Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
The fact that he would, as a general, somebody that helped win the War of 1812, and as a president, chooses to faux finish things to save money. How many of our current presidents would make that choice?
Yeah.
And then,
Oh gosh, there's more.
okay, so, but there's so many acres here and they had lots of crops. So yes, they had lots of enslaved workers to help with the
Yeah,
crops
there was
in
10
there.
on average.
10 in the house, but there was almost 80 to 100 that helped with the crops.
Yeah, because there's 1,200 acres.
Of cotton. So we found out that really Hermitage is a place of solitude, so that's why he named it as a place that he could come and get
There's
far
not much
away.
solitude with all these kids running around.
It
There's
is
like
field
school
trip day. Field trip day.
There's no solitude right now, but I could see where it would be.
Yes, I bet we can find a way around it. They are doing a maze right now. A
Yeah,
labyrinth.
they sure are.
Yeah. But it is a French word. We were correct on that.
Yes.
Right. Find some solitude.
I don't see it happening. I think we had it just for a moment, but there's no solitude from this point forward. But this is the door coming for like the farm quarters where you come into the farm office where they would manage, and then you come into the other rooms as well. The
way the workers would come into that farm side, but then on the other side is where like people like from Texas, like Sam Houston and Martin Van Buren would come, and right after, didn't they say right after Jackson passed away, Texas becomes pretty much a state. So they had those conversations here before Texas joined the Union.
Yeah, 6 months later after he died.
All right, let's go see their first house. Well, on this property, it's just a little log cabin. No matter where kids are, they just want to play tag. So they're playing tag.
You want to play tag? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying Andrew Jackson, they're like, you know, you didn't care about history when you're in the 3rd grade.
No, they had was there 4 children that was living here, grew up, I believe, in the bedrooms and stuff upstairs?
I
don't remember the whole.
I heard that there was lots of children because they adopted a lot of children. So they had lots of kids here. My grandma's house had these all over. Did you grow up with those? Boy, every time I see that flower, I think of Grandma.
You don't hear about all the strong family ties that he had and how many adopted children he had. Shout out to those parents that decide to adopt, because I never heard of any of the, when you come to these old things, you never ever hear about adopted sons and daughters.
This town is a lot of things, and gets you down, it lets you bleed.
200 acres of cotton. That's a hard. We found solitude. Just keep walking. In 1,000 acres, you should be able to find some.
1,200 acres. Sheila's found a way to walk it all. There's some sort of, like on the back side is where some of the cabins I think used to be for the slaves. When we passed like the cotton fields that they had over, was it 200 acres of cotton?
Yep.
300 acres of corn. It's quite the little operation they had going here.
So there's a lot of acres here where you can just tour the grounds and the gardens, the house. They do different types of tours. I brought Sherlock Holmes with me obviously back there because he says these arrows got to lead somewhere. He's a smart one. Did you say these lead somewhere?
Well, one goes that way, one goes that way. You just don't know which way you're going.
Guess we're gonna go this way. But this is a beautiful, beautiful piece of property. I can see why he would find solitude here. Sadly, he found that solitude most of the time without his wife. So he...
Yeah, and living in 400 square feet, I could relate.
You watch yourself.
Oh gosh.
She made it through his presidential campaign, but passed away right before his inauguration. So she never served as the first lady. And then he went to be sworn in as a widower.
Never remarried.
Guess that was what makes him a widow. No, widower. Right? Is that how it works? Widower. Yeah. And then ended up coming back here after his presidency was over. Interesting, I think, that all of his, everything says general. He didn't want to be known as the president. He wanted to be known for his work as a general. What is your problem?
I'm filming you.
You mean those turkeys? Those are big turkeys. They're supposed to be. I need a map. I need a map.
You need a map? You like to get lost, so I don't think we need a map. You like to go on adventures and...
I do, but I like to, when I get there, I know what it is.
All those years of having running water, the good old stream still works good. You'd still get that water right out of that stream today. What is this? The spring house. This is where they pump the water up.
Is that what it was? That we're going to talk about on this tour. Of course, they have the legal status of slave. One of the things that means is that when they're being counted for census purposes, they are only being counted as 3/5 of a person. We have to remember that there are a whole lot more than that, though, right? There are a whole lot more than just the cooks, the carpenters, and the field workers making this lifestyle possible. These are mothers and brothers, fathers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, and even grandparents. Multi-generational units of family do develop here at the Hermitage, and it's our honor today to get to share some of their story with you on this wagon tour. All right? Hopefully all the construction equipment has moved off the path and we'll have a nice smooth ride, all right?
When he was very young, the Revolutionary War broke out. It was bitterly fought in his area on the border between North and South Carolina.
He lost his mother and his brothers during the Revolutionary War. He'd never known his father.
It was an extremely brutal time of social dislocation. Important military victories in the history of the United States. The Battle of New Orleans. And finally, President of the United States. No one had ever climbed a ladder like that. It's not clear to me that people even knew such a ladder existed before Andrew Jackson.
He knew his temper was largely seen as a weakness, so he turned it into a strength by using it to scare people, while he was often quite carefully manipulating the situation to have it come out the way he wanted it to. He was a brilliant political actor.
Calling somebody a great president means two judgments which ought to be kept separate. One, whether he did things that were important, which Jackson certainly did. And the second one is whether you approve of those things. And I think historians tread on dangerous territory when they tell people what they should approve of.
A great president, unquestionably. He helped rescue the Union. That's kind of the threshold question. Power was when he was facing down radicals in South Carolina, as ever. South Carolina always goes the problem.
Erected in 1823.
Pretty simple.
I'm too short to see in the window. I can't see. I stand on my tippy toes. Oh, that's brick floor in there. So this is a church that Andrew Jackson had built for the area. And he became a member after politics, so 1838, because he promised his wife he would.
I make promises.
To your wife?
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh. What's over here?
There's a home.
Yeah, it's like Confederate soldiers' home. The
Yeah.
Jackson family sold 500 acres of the Hermitage to the state where they put this Confederate soldiers' home.
All right, wrapping up. There's so many thoughts that are rolling around my head. It's insane. Number
Learned a
one,
lot.
yes,
Learned a lot.
where we are in the world right now with the banking system, Mr. Jackson said, should have never had the control that it had on the American people. And here we are, as we're shooting this video, more banks are failing. That's the first thing. Number two, he was so opposed. He said that all of our leaders shouldn't have the amount of time they have in office. There should be term limits.
He said the longer that they stay inside as our government, the more options for corruption to happen inside our government. Wasn't he like the 7th president?
I mean, it's nuts.
Like they've been talking about this for a long time.
And here we are with all kinds of stuff, political turmoil, you know, don't care which side of the fence you are, but he saw that coming. Now, along with the good stuff, all the good stuff, came a lot of bad. He made some bad decisions when it came to basically indigenous people, like
he had a large group of enslaved people. I mean, he says that he treated them humanely, but they weren't free, so
right.
There's that.
There was one choice, and
then he was responsible for the movement of the, I mean, we've always been removing Native Americans off of their land, but he was responsible for moving
ramped it up,
Cherokee.
and he says, okay, let's get this going.
So the Trail of Tears basically is something that he's known for, but he had a lot of good and a lot of bad, but it's still just, it's history.
It is history. We need to embrace it.
But as an overall, like he fought for the American person.
Yeah, just you as the person, and it was against the whole idea of governments rising up and doing the things they were doing. And unity was for keeping the United States as a nation, united. There's so much good stuff here.
A lot of good and a lot of bad, but you put it all together, and it's the history of America. And I think that this is definitely worth. We paid $26 for a ground museum and mansion tour, and it's worth it.
Oh, definitely. This has been a fabulous little outing. Little walks that we got to see some of the things. And then, you know, all the weirdness that you see come down, like the little rabbit hole things. Here's a rabbit hole that you could go down.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So if you like the little rabbit holes, on his tombstone, he actually has an obelisk. And there's this whole thing about obelisks and Freemasons and all this stuff. It's just an interesting thing that when I saw that, I was like, why does he have that on his tomb? Like in his thing. Sheila has no idea what I'm talking about, but those that are following the little rabbit hole stuff, there's a little nugget there. Thought that was very intriguing to me.
The only rabbit hole I like is Alice in Wonderland.
I didn't even like Alice in Wonderland. I hated Alice in Wonderland. And the new one, when Johnny Depp did the new one, that was even worse.
Yeah, no.
It's like we digress a lot.
But I think what we're going to do is, there are so many great food places in Nashville. I think we're going to go get some lunch.
Okay, we're going to go grab some food.
But we recommend coming to the Hermitage in Nashville.
Add this to your list. Definitely do that. Okay, this is a great way to end.
We found some brunch, and we're off of a recommendation of a local, and it is fabulous.
We're in the Gulch of Nashville and Biscuit Love. I love. This is fabulous. Okay, now we're gonna enjoy this, and we're out.